So the first question is a response to the Black Lives Movement that you spoke to in the first interview.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter is a principle. It's not just a movement. It's not just an organization. Those who think on a base level, those who think on a primitive, ignorant level, would try to equate it as being just about an organization that has branded itself as being Black Lives Matter. That term, even though it may not have been under that particular name, has been a principle since we've been in this country. We've been trying to convince people in this country that Black Lives matter. But we was in the holds of slave ships being brought over here 9,000 miles across the water, pissing and defecating on each other, dying in the millions, getting hung, raped, lynched, murdered, tortured, mistreated, denied opportunity, things that are still going on to this day, have been trying to tell you that Black Lives matter. All the way up to the civil rights movement, when people getting bit by dogs, sprayed by water hoses, hung, unjustly in prison, we're trying to tell you that Black Lives matter. So for anybody to get caught up and feel some kind of way about me saying I support Black Lives Matter, I don't give a damn who funds it. That's not my intention, because I could care less. The majority of these organizations are funded by you. So at the end of the day, I'm speaking about a principle that you can like or you don't have to like. So the question I gotta ask is, what is it that you don't like about me defending that principle? If the principle is based around truth, if the principle stands up against injustice carried out against black people by racist white Americans, what is it that you don't like? Are you one of them? Do you have that same mindset? Because that would make more sense to me if you have a problem with me saying, okay, a 12-year-old kid gets shot within 2 seconds and he's unarmed, or a man selling CDs gets murdered while he's already subdued and he's unarmed, or a man selling cigarettes outside of a store gets choked out and he's unarmed, but yet too many instances take place where a white person has weapons, guns, knives, shooting at the police and get brought in unscathed, get brought in alive, get taken to Burger King to get something to eat after a hard day's work of killing 9 black people in the church. So who really got the issue right here? Is it me or is it you? Because if an individual is allowed, so-called allowed, to speak out and protest against injustice according to your constitution, why do you have a problem with it? Is it because you agree with what's being done to us? Is it because you trivialize it? Or is it because you feel we should be good little niggas and stay in our place? You don't know me like you think you know me. Learn my history. We can go to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, you should look between them.
All good.
The next one is like, what are your thoughts on the O.J. Simpson situation? Trial, him being, in jail, all that.
I mean, I really don't have too many comments about the O.J. Simpson situation. I mean, O.J. got charged with a murder that I don't know if he committed or not. I've seen a documentary that has shown a lot of strong evidence that O.J. didn't do it. Am I saying he didn't do it? No. Am I saying he did do it? No. But I've seen where things were planted. There was a chemical placed in the sock, in the blood, mixed into the blood, that was impossible to determine if that chemical was created naturally. It's all kind of things. It's an O.J. Simpson document. I'm not really qualified to speak about it, but there are a lot of holes in the situation that that point to him being innocent. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say that he is, because I don't know.
Okay. And the 9/11 situation.
Well, I mean, we just had the anniversary of 9/11. I think the 15th anniversary of 9/11. Of course, the country is in an emotional state behind the events that took place in 9/11. All I would say about 9/11 is for you as a citizen or someone who wants to know more about it to do thorough research, because I'm not of the belief that some individuals from a foreign country came through and committed a terrorist act on the World Trade Center and killed 3,000 people. I'm not of that belief. I'm of the belief that the United States government orchestrated the whole 9/11 incident, and it was an inside job. So for those who may say, well, you know, you're a conspiracy theorist, or that's a bunch of BS, just do your research. Do your research. Speak to those who made it out the building and let them tell you what they heard. Let them tell you about the bombs they heard going off while they were in the building. Use common sense to know that an airplane cannot strike a 100-story building at the top and cause it to implode in the form of a controlled demolition. Just use common sense. Ask yourself why the owner of the World Trade Center took out an insurance policy on the building not long before the attack happened. So these are the things, my opinions of 9/11 in terms of, even to the families of the victims, you know, find out what happened. And more importantly, find out why it happened. United States of America, this government is a warmonger type of government. So in order to have a justified reason to go to war, they had to create a scenario that would rally the American people behind them to make it look like we're justified in going into Iraq to overthrow Saddam Hussein, even though you said it was Afghanistan who committed the act. So I'm just saying.
Marcus Garvey once said that black people should, we should all go back to Africa. Minister Farrakhan said that we should have our own place in America where we govern ourselves. So which one would you think would be better, to have our own place or to go back to the motherland?
Well, you can do whatever is best for you, or you feel is best for you. But what the minister is saying, he's speaking from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you read the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, he talks about separation. He talks about the fact that black people and white people have not been able to live together in peace in all this time. They don't want us here after we built this country up through free labor, through slavery. So if you have this kind of hatred and disdain for us, get us out of your hair. Give us a few states to call our own, where we can separate and establish our own nation apart from you, from the injustice, and we'll no longer be this headache, these niggas, this problem that you seem to have with us. That's what the minister was saying. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is saying, and it makes perfect sense. And now you have those that will say, well, why should we give black people anything? What do you mean give y'all this, get it? Because we built this country. We built this country. You have given reparations to other nations, but you've never given reparations to the black man and the black woman for the 300 plus years of service and the 100 plus years of Jim Crow that have taken place since being so-called freed from slavery. So in that regard, it's the only answer. It's the only answer. We got a stake in this country. You know, there are racist white people that'll say, well, you don't like it here, leave. You don't like it here, go back to Africa. We didn't ask to be brought over here in the first place. So at the end of the day, the fact that all of your edifices, all of your agriculture, all of the things that have made this country great, from picking cotton, all of those different things that made this country and built it up to what it is today, was built on the backs of black people. So you owe us that. You owe us that.
Oh yeah, what do you think about President Obama's presidency, like his last 8 years? What about that?
I mean, I'm not a political guy. It's a lot of things that he hasn't done in relation to black people that I feel and a lot of other people feel that he should have done. A lot of issues that he haven't addressed in terms of helping black people. So that was my main concern with him. But also, you know, we know it's a shadow government that controls the so-called president, controls the so-called person that's in power. And even if he had it in his heart to do those things, he wasn't gonna be able to do it under this system. So with that being said, I mean, I don't really have an opinion in terms of his grade. I can't give him a grade. He's done some things that I disapprove of, and he's done a few things that I do approve of. But you know, I just think about, you know, what Minister Farrakhan said when he first got in. It's not so much about what he may or may not do, but the fact that by him reaching the level that he reaching that position, it can inspire younger black children to believe that they can be whatever they want to be. It can break that bondage of feeling like it's only so high I can, you know, elevate and ascend. You can be whatever you want to be, especially if you make it to that point in this country, you know.
And, last one is, what do you feel about Colin Kaepernick's stand with kneeling during the national anthem?
I mean, I love it. You know me, I love it. I mean, all I ask people to do in terms of the national anthem, black people, brown people, pull up the national anthem and read the whole song. When they sing the national anthem, they only sing in one verse. That song is long. There's a third verse in the national anthem where the writer, his name is Francis Scott Key, and he talks about how it will be no refuge for the slaves. You know, he talking about black people. You know, this is the 1800s. You know, talking about terrorizing slaves. That's just one verse that they leave out. So the part that we see when everybody stand there with their hand on their heart and the old say, can you see? Okay, yeah, all that sound good, but it's more to the song than that. So when Colin Kaepernick stood up, but knelt down during the national anthem, he's speaking out against a lot of injustice that's been carried out in this country. He's speaking to the Trayvon Martin situation, the Philando Castile, the Alton Sterling. He's speaking to all those scenarios that have taken place in this country where justice was not received. Police officers killing unarmed black people and getting administrative leave, getting slapped on the wrist, going home to their families after killing a black man for no reason. Or if a black man was committing a crime, not utilizing every possible means to apprehend or subdue him without having to take his life, which was totally necessary in pretty much every case. So as an athlete that makes all that money with everything to lose, you gotta commend him for taking that kind of position and taking that kind of stance, because the same as Muhammad Ali did back in the 60s, he's gonna be vilified, he's gonna be criticized, he's gonna be torn down, and white people are not gonna like it. But the fact of the matter is, his stance is just. His stance is a righteous stance. The reason why people don't like it, it goes back to that same slave master slave mentality, like, we give you all this money. You need to sit down like a good nigga and shut up. You know, what is he complaining about? This is what they say. Why is he complaining? He makes $20 million a year. He's stepping up because he understands that this situation is bigger than him as an individual. Yeah, he may make $20 million a year, but it's some brothers in the street that's badly struggling to get by. There's brothers in the street that's getting harassed and killed and murdered by police, no individual can rise higher than the condition of their people. So it don't matter if you Bill Cosby or Oprah Winfrey or whoever you could think of that has millions and billions of dollars, if your people still struggling, then you struggling too. Because at some point, they will prove to you, no matter how big you are, that they own you too. So it took a lot of courage, it took a lot of bravery for him to take that stance. And now you're seeing a lot of other athletes, a lot of other football players standing up and protesting in their own way. You got the brothers from the Eagles standing up holding the power fist. You got other players from different teams that are kneeling down. But you also seeing the other side of it, because you got other organizations saying, well, my players better not do it. You got colleges and Little League saying, y'all better not do it. I'm saying do it. Because if you can't stand up for a cause that's bigger than yourself, even at the risk of losing the money and the fame and the favor of those who employ you, I mean, then you're not worthy to represent us anyway. You know, so shout out to Colin Kaepernick. Keep doing what you're doing. And anybody else who might have the mind frame to stand up against that kind of oppression, even in the face of losing it all, stand up and do it. Because when you stand up like that, the most important thing you gotta realize is that God is backing you. See, when the enemy come out against you and you bend your knee and you bow down under the pressure, you bow down under the pressure of what you might lose. Don't worry about what you might lose from him. Worry about losing God's favor for being a coward.
Speaking of your latest project that you're working on.
Yeah, right now, man, I'm in the closing stages of completing my 7 albums. I'm getting ready to drop 7 albums at one time. Probably be out by the end of October. Coming along real good. I think that, you know, my true fans, my real fans, they gonna ride with me, they gonna love it. And we're gonna try to get in the record books, man, and at the same time, educate a lot of people and give a lot of game up. You know, those who have a problem with me, you're gonna really have a problem with me when these albums come out. So we looking forward to that, and we're gonna make sure that we continue to give good music. The biggest challenge, just putting this whole thing together, is to maintain the consistency through every song, to make sure that every song is a good song, and we don't have just no filler tracks that just 2 or 3 good songs and then just throw something in just to fill the album up. Now we make sure that every song is worthy, where you won't have to skip nothing, and we almost there. We got Rapper K in the building too. He behind the camera. Y'all can't see him, man. Come slide in here, Rapper K. He just chilling. We up here at the Fundy, man. You know what I'm saying? He just walked up on the scene, man. So we getting it in. We getting it in. Plain and simple. Appreciate you. Shout out to the OG Wicked Cricket. Brandon just gave a donation to Wicked Cricket for his headstone, man. You know, we almost there, we real close, but if anybody wants to donate, they can go to southparkcoalition.net, click the music store link, then scroll down till you see the picture of Wicked Cricket donation, and whatever you give is accepted, straight up. One love.
That's a good way to look at it.
What? I'm just telling you.
We have to stay